Welcome. This is a lesson on installing Kali on the VMware Workstation Player. To begin, we're going to need to go over some necessary tools and services to begin this task. We're going to need internet-capable desktop computer or laptop. You're going to need internet service. You're going to need peripherals. This includes keyboards, mouses, desktop, a fully working computer with network capabilities. You're also going to need 60 gigabytes of space, just to be safe. It can be installed with much less space. The minimum is going to be 20 gigabytes for Kali Linux. Safety considerations are going to be a ground fault interrupter. This will prevent any electrical shock and any damage to your system if any sort of electrical surge were to occur. We're going to get started by preparation. Go into the Settings tab for Windows 10. I'm going to go down into the System, then go all the way to the bottom and click About. This will display things such as your RAM, and more importantly, if you're running a 64 or 32-bit operating system. To begin, we need to download Kali Linux. Go to Google and type in Kali Linux. The very first link at the top is the one you're looking for. Click that hyperlink, and you'll be directed to Kali's homepage. At the top, you'll see several tabs. One of them is Download. Click the Download tab. The very first one, since we're running a 64-bit operating system, is the one we're looking for. We're going to be installing this onto our VMware Workstation Player. Click the torrent button and it'll begin to download. Next, we're going to need the VM Workstation Player. This is located at VMware's homepage. So I'll just type in VMware in your search bar, and it should be you should be directed to the very first link here in Google. It's VMware's homepage. Over here on the left, you'll see several tabs, one of which is Downloads. Click on Downloads. You'll see 4 sections. The third one is going to be Free Products. VMware Workstation Player is what we're going to be downloading. It's available for both Windows and Linux. So ensure that you download it for the correct system you're running. Since we're running Windows 10 on this host, we're going to go ahead and download Workstation Player for Windows. Once you've installed your Workstation Player, which is a self-forward process, there's not much you have to worry about. As you can see, I have one machine already installed on here. This is a Kali Linux VM. At the top, you're going to see several tabs, one of which is Create New Machine. Click that tab, select Install from ISO file, and then click Browse and go to where you downloaded Kali Linux. Kali is going to be listed under Domain 8. This is the version you want to select for Kali Linux. Next, for your gigabyte, your storage, I usually do 40 gigabytes or 60 gigabytes. You can do it as little as 20. I like to have more space. So set it to your desired storage size, and then hit Next. These are your basic setups, your NAT versus your bridge. These are also all editable from the home page, the splash page of the Workstation Player. You can adjust your RAM. I usually will adjust it to 2 gigabytes. You do not have to for Kali Linux. You can also remove any other services that are connected, such as printing services. You really aren't going to need that for Kali. You can adjust your network, so instead of doing NAT, you can do abridged. Next, you're going to go ahead and run that machine that you've just set up. And what this is going to do is it's going to begin the install, the physical install of this virtual machine. Here we have several options. You can do anything from graphical install to A&D live. We're going to click on the link install, which this is a physical install. Kali Linux does not move as quickly as a lot of operating systems most users are used to. It will take a minute to install. If your loading screen does take a while, this is normal for Kali Linux. Begin by selecting your language, your country, and your region. Some of these loading screens will be a bit quicker than others. The settings we're going to be adjusting for are going to be very basic settings. We just want to have Kali Linux on the machine and running. I'm going to name it Kali2. And the domain I'm going to make test.com. There we go. Continue. Set up your password as what you would like. For most root users, which is a basic Kali user login, the username will be root, and the password will be TOOR. Click. Most of these you're not going to have to adjust. Partitionings, for the basic install, do one partition, select next, physical partition. Alright, at this point I'm going to fast forward through this loading screen because it is going to take a minute. Expect it to take a while when you install on your host device, whether that be home desktop, laptop, or any work host. Yes. Just to give everyone information, when you're using a Kali or any VMware workstation, Pro or Player, Control Alt will bring you out of the system so you can interact with your physical operating system. We're going to go ahead and run Kali Linux here that we've installed. Make sure it's installed correctly. The main things you're going to want to test is your internet connection. Make sure that either the NAT or the bridge, depending on which one you selected, is working. I've done NAT for this particular system, so that's what you'll have set up if you follow me. Remember that username is going to be root and tor. Kali Linux can take a minute to come up here. Alright, and it's live. This is Kali Linux. It seems to be functioning quite well. And these applications, which you can read some of these tabs, are exactly why we want to install Kali Linux. This operating system is designed to exploit systems. That's its function, and that's what we're going to be using it for. And it's very good at doing that. So that's our lesson. That is how you install Kali Linux. That's a basic setup. You're just going to be clicking through all of your settings, except for the ones that I've specified. This will give you a NAT connection to your NIC card, and this will allow you to use Kali Linux